Okay, so this is day 3 of the sunflowers, and it just doesn't look as bad as I thought it did. The longer I look at it right now, the worse it looks, but my first reaction coming back to it is, well, it's not as bad as I remembered, so that's kind of good. Normally, I think I would start with the background next, but I guess I don't really want to, and I did talk about redrawing, but also I don't really want to do that. So honestly, what I think I'm going to do is start up here in this left-hand corner and work back, because usually by the time I get up here, I'm like so tired anyway, I'm tired. So I'm gonna start up here in the part that's hardest to work on. And actually I'm gonna start on the background back there. It's just so dark. Let's just see if I could, lighten it up a little. So I mentioned before that I want to be sure there's a feeling of air in my background, not like it was painted on the moon where there's no scattering of light from the atmosphere. Anyway, so I do want to just go ahead and add this color because I kind of like it. It's kind of a grayish green. And it's kind of nice to have green in the background, I think, because I think it'll make all these reddish and orangish flowers show up more. And I can't tell you how much I hate this vase. So, hopefully that's going to get better. Let's see. And this is just a little bit of a violet I'm adding in. And I'm doing it all around right now because I don't want to forget that's what I used. So look at me, I'm working on the background first, like I normally do. And it makes sense because the background is the largest single color in the painting. So I need something bluer up there, I think. Let's see if this is too light. And I tried not spraying it quite so heavy. I tried spraying it longer, but not so heavy, because I just was not liking that whole look that it had of just being lacquered flat, Oh no, there it goes. That was the only tiny little piece too. It's not that practical to start with a tiny little piece when you have a whole background to do. Just saying. I just feel like maybe I should have a little of that right in there. And maybe right in there too. Just a tiny bit so that we know that this is behind. And this sure looks dark right in there too. So just remind you, you're not copying. I guess I'll get rid of that little thing. You're not copying what you see. You're designing it all the time. You did the best job you could setting it up. I'm not sure what you are. The best job you could setting it up, and in this case, the best job I could do taking 50 pictures of it to find one that I thought was good enough. And then from there, you're going to make adjustments. So if I decide it's too dark right through there and that jumps forward because it's so dark, then, I'm going to make it lighter if I want to. I'm not just a copycat, or, as my teacher used to say, a slave to nature. All right, we'll see. We'll see how I feel about that later. Okay, so now I've got this kind of going. Oh, I'm going to try a little of this in here. There's all that reflected light from those brighter flowers, and I used to really love that whole, because I always have painted with really strong light effects. So there always has been just kind of this skim of light coming back in. So I just wanted to try that. Okay, so now I'm going to come up here and work on this. And I realized I had some other colors over here, these darks that I keep showing you that I wasn't really maybe using. So I'm just going to see. If they would work. I think that is kind of better. It's a nice, rich, reddish, purpley brown, I guess. And there is a red in this box of, okay, I'm going to look up the name. That's ridiculous. Terry Ludwig, Intense Darks 2 is the name of this set. And there is this red, so let's just try that, because I still didn't go look for all my red pastels. Yeah, that's pretty good, all right. It's quite a bit of a hard color. All right, and then there's that. I'll try a little purple. I had that blue, but I'm just going to try a little purple for the light on these guys. And I'm going to draw them a little better too. One comes up there more, so I need that dark again, which thank goodness I put back somewhere I could find it. Unusual for me. And I need my background color, which I don't know where is. Okay, and then wow, it is just so dark in there. So I'm going to see if there's some other really dark browns, so I'm just going to try one of them, see what happens in here. Yeah, that's good. Whoa. God, you just barely squeeze them a little too hard or with your fingernail and they start to chip. Okay, I've got to draw that to see what's going on. This comes out here. Okay, there's that one. There's this one. Kind of a square end. And then there's this little one that kind of folds over. And then there's this big rounded in one. Oh boy, it's not really pointing that direction. And then this one is in front and goes down like that. Okay. I've gotten this bad habit or some sort of habit, I don't know what's bad, but of talking to myself. Oh man, I did it. I broke it. It's okay, I guess. Like, I don't know, how would I do this if I didn't have these really dark? Oh, this is a purple. Now I can see that when it's not on top of the other color, it's kind of a purple. Okay. You know, and I might choose to leave some of the detail out in here because it's going to go behind that flower, and I actually think I need to, all right, I need a little gray in here. Also, so something like that. And I have to cover up my bad drawing lines. All right, this has got to stop this. What am I going to do about this? Maybe it's just in this upper corner that I'm kind of making it bounce when I push so hard up here. And I don't know if I'll keep that. I just thought I'd try a little more light up here. All right, and I still need a little lighter blue, something here. You know, I'm always telling you that if you just paint what you see, just paint what you see. But I don't really know how to make this, get this sort of a sheen like there is. Just covered it all up again. I need something I can control a little more than that big. Let's try this. Okay, I'm feeling pretty good about those flowers, although not that right there. So I'm just gonna get rid of that again. I don't have to have that. Whoops, I missed. I'm definitely trying to finish it now. You know, I'm hoping to never go back to that flower again. But if I have to, I will. But I'm hoping not to. And I do not know how to get this make this look either, so I'm just going to try making that just a little darker, and then I'm going to come back with something a little lighter and just see what happens. It's that thing, instead of fretting that you don't know what to do, just try some stuff, you know? What you got to lose here? Just your mind. All right, so I'm gonna let that flower go for now and start working. Oh man, this guy, that poor flower. I'll work on that one. All right, so we've got a petal that goes up here, and we have a petal that comes across there. I know you can't see this because I can't see it. And then we have a petal that comes. This petal, God, is that flower even bigger than that? Maybe it is. So this petal, this whitish petal comes out here and behind. This is going to come to a tiny little point. And then there's another one here that's going to come to a tiny little point. And then this one is kind of bent back, so let's see if I can make it look like that. So this will all be darker. That right there is an incredible color. And then there's these two guys here too, so maybe I'm going to try to move that up a little more. I think that's more where it is actually. And hopefully that would give me some room in here for these two little petals that are so beautiful. Yep, right off the edge of that page, right? Really close over there. Okay. All right, so the good thing is I've got these great colors now to work with that were sitting right here in front of me the whole time. But remember, I kind of lied about this to bring that petal down a little further so it didn't look like it was ended by that lighter color petal in front. Oh my gosh, this color is just too bad it's right on the edge. It's just the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. What am I going to do about the color of that? The inside of that flower, the little seed thing. I guess I'm going to try, it's a little too strongly blue, so that is probably way too light. I don't know. Part of it's too light, but part of it might not be. So I don't want this flower to take you out of the picture. Oh, look how nicely I set up this whole activator triangle in my lower left-hand corner to push your eye up into the painting. That's the plan right there. It's not working. Okay, so I need something dark, but not that. Not that. I'm trying to do like an edge on this. Something like that maybe, but then I feel like I cannot solve this problem. Maybe I can't solve the problem until I work on the flower that's in front there. And that is too much orange. All right, I'm going to try working on those other flowers, see what I can do with them. I really hate these square pastels. I find them really hard to control. You don't know where my mark is going to go. And that kind of bugs me, but they are just the right colors. So that is not the right color, but it just was so much easier to control. I'll try to get this back in the right color. Also, of course, this is my hardest part to work on, way over here on the left. Hardest part for me to work on it without getting in front of the camera. Oh, and I need some pink in this business too. Wow, these are not really drawn very well. Okay, so this needs to be a little bigger. This one does turn a little bit back to the inside of the painting, so that's something I'm gonna grab onto so that, wow, I got one too many flower here, one too many, because it to help lead my eye back into the painting. And there's that. Yeah, I tell you, that pastel's, I like the way it feels, but it's too, I mean, I like the way it feels, but it's too hard. And I'm gonna have to take a petal out. See if I can. Yes. Okay. And then I need a tiny bit of value contrast in there. It's all looking a little flat. So I need a tiny bit of the lighter details, I think. Oh, golly. It's just one thing after another. You think, oh my God, that looks so bad. But, you know, you kind of have to wait and see if I can, what happens with this other, the flower that's right on top of it. So, yeah, try to remain calm. And also that it's getting kind of gummy right there. Okay, so this, boy, where did that's some other flower, I think, in there. And, oh, yeah, look, there's one here. And then there's one here. So do I dare put that? Have another petal. Where is it? I guess it's right in here. Okay, I don't mind that. I don't think so. I got to work on this, the seed thing right now. Golly, and there's a big old green thing in there. Do I want that? I don't know. Maybe I do. So I'm thinking about a lot of stuff right now. I'm obviously not just focusing on my color. I'm kind of just doing more stuff than I normally feel all that comfortable doing at the same time. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to work on these two petals next. I just need to see where they're going to know how much I can do on that seed, the seeds behind. Okay, we need that light sheen color, which we don't know how to do. Gosh, and this petal is actually in front. Okay, that was a little too gray, even though it is violet. And that was not a violet. do not know what that was, but this is better. And then maybe I need like a little, actually I need a little dark right in there. So I just tried it with my charcoal, and now I'm going to come back and put it in with the pastel. You know, outside the lines. But, you know, I probably told you how much my mom and my grandmother worried about me that I couldn't color in the lines. So if your kid won't color in the lines, I say, like, you know, you don't really have to worry about that. They can become an impressionist. Yeah, whose idea was it to put this green thing here? That's not there. It's over here. All right, so I'm going to try to get rid of that green thing. Okay, I got to do a little more. Come back to that. Yeah, I just cannot work forever on one thing. It's back and forth, back and forth. What do I need to do to this to make... Okay, so here you are. That guy needs to be a little bigger, that little yellow guy. Trying to make those two flowers look like they're more of the same flower. And you know what? It's kind of tempting to make this one be part of that too, whatever that is, even though it isn't. I think that might be better. And this flower, this yellow flower, has a little feeling of green in it to me, which I think I could get away with now. And I don't want the shadow to line directly up with that yellow flower, so I'm gonna, kind of like that. Wasn't what I thought it was, but I kind of like it. And these guys are two Day Glow. Let's try this. That's better, I think. And there is, there's really all this light on here. So let's see if I can, just pressed a little too hard to start with there. Okay, so I think I don't mind that now, maybe, although I don't like this right here, the way those connect. I don't like that either. I'll get out my trusty charcoal. Okay, so kind of helped me before when I put in little shadows behind there. So maybe it will here too. What is that line? Is something a mistake I just made? So I'm really trying to see, how do these stick into that seed pod? it's not really like I haven't here. Maybe that green needs to come down more too. I'm so grateful I sprayed my painting before I left yesterday. I just can't recommend it enough to, like, even though you don't want to. Like, it was raining a little bit yesterday and I was like, oh, I'll just wait. But it's raining a lot more today. And also, I don't worry too much about my fixative not drying, but I absolutely know for sure it's dry because I sprayed it yesterday. Wow, I don't know. Okay, so let's see if I can bring these guys out a little more too. These guys in front here. Oh yeah, I can. Jeez, maybe way more than I meant to. And look at that, I cannot, that mark is supposed to be going over there to the left and it just keeps going right in that same spot. Okay, and then this little, oh God, that, the other, more pink. Got a pink problem here as usual. A certain lack of pink. All right, and that cute little yellow guy back there. It's like a little tiny sunflower. And I have used more of the expensive pastels on this painting of any painting I think I've ever done. And part of me is not liking that very much somehow, because they fill up the paper. I can't get the marks in the right place because they're so much bigger than I sort of expect them to be. But man, the colors are perfect. Yeah, that was supposed to be a green one right there, I think. No, it's not. I just got it drawn sort of wrong. Okay, so maybe that's better. Oh, and look at that. Yeah, I wondered if I could make these right here, these petals that kind of come forward. I really loved them when I saw them in the picture, but okay. What the heck? Okay, that's that other one. This is this one. These are that other flower, but boy, that doesn't look like the right color, so these are part of the white flower right here, so honestly don't know quite how they got over there, but there they are nonetheless. So I guess there's another, I don't know. Anyway, that's, at least that looks like something different. But I'm gonna make this flower on top of them, so. If I can. I really like this little flower because it doesn't have the pointy leaves. It's just another contrast. It's of pointy leaves from look at that. That pushed that right under there. That makes me a little happy. Let's see if I can get this to go on top. And do I have to have a little light on the sky? Maybe I do. Maybe just a little light coming in under there. And a little light in here. All right, back to that guy, back to that guy, back to that little guy. Oh, I just really need a dark blue. That is just like a rock, that pastel. Even though it's a Diane Townsend, but it is not going down very well. Let's try this one. It's better. All right, I need some sort of brown. I don't really want brown exactly, but I need something that this orange is just too orange. I hate that leaf, but I've got to try to make it better. That leaf right behind there. And then I want to try to add a little bit of these thingies. Okay, leaf. All right, I need a darker green. I don't know if this is going to be it, but yeah, that's good. I need to draw the shape of the shadow better. Man, I wish you would quit doing that. And you know what? I'm not going to have any light on it down here. I'm just going to make it all in the dark there. And I don't think that should be there. What the heck? All right, let's try hitting this yellow again. Did you see that go? Just pressed it a little too hard. All right, I'm very unhappy about these little thingies in here. Just want to see if I can have a little light coming in here. So I'm kind of going back and forth there. All right, I think I'm going to do what's really there, which is what I was trying not to do, what was really there. But I think I need this one to be on top. I just don't think I can quite get it otherwise. And then I'm just going to make all this green in here darker. I just don't like it.